If slavery never happened, then you would be in a grass hut.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we need reparations. Your reparations are that you get to live in America. You're welcome. You're welcome.
You get to have the Christian religion.
That's
live
right.
better than your ancestors
The
ever would
greatest
have.
moment in history for any brown or black country is the moment that the white man's ships arrive on your shore.
Let me tell you about what black people suffered through after those white men's ships arrived on their shores. They got hundreds of years of enslavement, oppression, abuse, torture, murder, rape. Not only did black former slaves get nothing after emancipation, President Andrew Johnson, a white Southerner, he made certain that white enslavers were made whole. Reparations, but not for former slaves, reparations for rich white slave owners. After the Civil War, blacks were kept poor, systematically poor, and with almost zero ability to grow wealth. Thousands of black prisoners were leased by Southern states to former white enslavers in what were called convict leases, where blacks, again, worked for free while white men made themselves rich again from their labor and upon their broken backs. There were also sharecropping, which grossly exploited black work ethic while allowing the former enslavers to maintain their power and to continue to grow their wealth, their white wealth. Again, ultimately passing that on to future generations of their white descendants. Of course, during this time, there were also Jim Crow laws in place all over the South, which made it illegal for black Americans to occupy the same spaces as whites. Hospitals and bathrooms, private buildings, elevators, phone booths, restaurants, water fountains, everything that was white, which was everything, was off limits for black Americans. Black Americans. Jim Crow laws also intended to force black people into indentured servitude, to limit their voice in the political system by stripping away their constitutional rights to vote, and to control where they live. It was the American legal system explicitly designed for oppressing them. You know this though, Joel, right? So tell me, Joel Webbin, your goofy little sidekick maybe, or anybody else for that matter, black people should be thankful.
Kal halayim la Yahweh ba'Hashem Yahawashi Waha Ruha Kodash. All praises and glory go to you, Lord. Double honors and respect go to our apostles, bishops, elders, and teachers, the men of Great Millstone. To you I say Shalom. Salutations to the hopefully elect. It's your brother Amriah. And as you can see, Eve's being Eve. All right. Talking very arrogantly, very prideful, all right, in his speech against you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. All right. Says the best thing that could have ever happened is when the so-called white man devil pulls up on your shores. All right. And without him, you'd have been living in green grass huts. Okay. And this is how this devil operates, man. Though we know the truth, those of us in the truth understand that you never would have gotten over us had it not been for the Most High Yahweh, ba'Hashem Yahawashi's indignation against the tribes, all right, for their rebellion, for their idol worship, for their sacrificing of our Messiah, Yahawashi HaMashiach, upon that cross when they stated, give us Barabbas, all right? If it were not for the Most High and his Son, you devils never would have got above us. But herein lies the issue. All right. Now, I was going to begin here in Psalm 73, and we'll come back to that here shortly. I want to grab something real quick because this explains the state of mind of these devils, all right? And why they speak so proudly in these last days, all right? Though they are the basis of men. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, it says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily on the spot for their crimes, they are not punished immediately. Because this is not happening, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right. All right. So their whole mind state is to keep the evil going. It says, like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And his wickedness is to his very core. All right. So this is the mindset of the wicked. All right. Among other ideologies that they believe in, they believe they can do as thou wilt, that the law is done away with. Though they've stolen the book from you Israelites, they don't believe in the book. They have no fear of the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But they're going to find out that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai truly does rule in the kingdom of men. Verse 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right. So these devils are fully committed to their wicked mindset because sentence against an evil work hasn't been executed quickly on them. Okay. Now going back to Psalms chapter 73 for more edification. And I'll begin at verse 5. It says, they are not in trouble as other men, right? The sentence against their evil deeds hasn't been executed. So they go around committing murders, violence, grapes, all manner of wickedness, robbery, right? And they're not in trouble like the Israelites. They're not in trouble like the children of Israel had to deal with the sentences, the punishment of their sins. All right. And we do suffer because of our sins, not because you're some superior race, so-called self-proclaimed white man devil. Verse 5 again, they are not in trouble as other men. You are not in trouble as other men, Esau, Edom. Neither are you plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth you about as a chain. Violence covereth you as a garment. Right, you're going to continue to be wicked. It is your very core. It is the very essence of who you are. Okay. Psalm 73 and verse 7. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. Right. All right. The pillaging, robbing, maiming to get your way to the top. The Lord have allowed this. And off the backs of Israelites, you've become quite wealthy. You have more than heart could wish. Verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. All right. And this is why they talk so arrogant and proud, though their history is plagued with violence and unrighteousness and wickedness, man. All right. And you can't get these devils to see it because in their minds, the ends justify the means. They're on top now. But the Lord is going to throw a wrench in your plans, Esau, Edom. All right. You are going to flee from the iron weapon. The Lord is going to pour his indignation out on you, Esau, Edom, as a people. All right. Prepare for slaughter. Verse 9. They set their mouth against the heavens, their tongue walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and the waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doth God know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world, they increase in riches. This is Psalms chapter 64, and we're going to begin at verse 2. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Esau, Edom, all right, and his cohorts. They're the workers of sin, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot arrows, even bitter words. Right. You saw how they were talking on that panel. That shit is bitter. All right. You've gotten the victory, but this is how you rub it in, right? You say you're welcome. You can participate in this oppressive system. You're welcome. All right. But the Lord ain't with all of that. Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right. Is there knowledge in the Most High? Huh? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Right. All right. They've left no stone unturned on how to oppress you Israelites. All right. Now the catch-22 is their own tongues are testifying against them. And this is why we are here. Let's continue reading. Verse 7, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Right. Their own tongues testifying. As you saw the end of the clip, the man looked like an Edomite. All right. But he brought out their crimes. All right. And that's just a small list of all of the atrocities that these people, Esau, Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white man devil, have committed against you Israelites, man. All right. But they speak wickedly. They speak loftily concerning oppression. They don't bar that. They don't have any respect for the Most High or his people. They don't believe in the book. All right. And the entire time oppressing his people. But your time is about up. All right. This is Habakkuk chapter 2. All right. And this is where we'll end out. All right. But the world knows who you are, Esau, Edom. All right. They know that you are the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. And this picture perfect painting that you have been drawing out in front of the masses is disappearing as we speak. Your own tongues are testifying against yourselves. All right. And all of that, what you thought would glorify you, is bringing you to shame. Let's begin at verse 14. This is Habakkuk 2 and 14. It says, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, as the waters cover the sea. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth the bottle to him, and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look upon their nakedness. And this is the accusing of the brethren in these last days. When you've created these reprobates, you've created a system that creates these YNs and deprived drug addicts and people with no morality, all right, no hope, no standards, all right. You created them, Esau, Edom, and therefore, all right, verse 16, you are filled with shame for glory, all right. Your glory is shame, all right. That which you thought would glorify you has shamed you publicly, all right. Your children complaining of an ungodly father, all right, because of all of the bloodshed, raping, robbing, pillaging that you have done to get your way to the top, all right. You are filled with shame for glory. Drink you also, and let your foreskin be uncovered. The cup of Yahweh's right hand shall be turned onto you, and shameful spewing shall be on your glory. There's no hiding it anymore. You are the devil that the Bible speaks of, Esau, Edom. All right. And when the Lord brings in these final judgments, which are soon to come, good riddance. All right. Good riddance of you evil devils. And the ones that remain, prepare to go into slavery. Prepare slaughter for your children for the iniquity of your fathers. All right. But you are your fathers returning. Shalom.